Hello friends, let us learn JavaScript in this video. This video is going to be long because I'm going to cover the entire JavaScript starting from the very basics. Okay, but you don't require to go through the entire video. Just go to the video description. You will see an index. In the index, every topic that I've discussed in this 2 hours video will be mentioned. Whichever topic you are interested in, just click the timestamp ahead of it and the video will go to that time when that particular topic was discussed. I will also cover basic practical. Now what is basic practical? We'll build a basic website having some event, okay, and then we will deploy it onto IIS, and then we will try to use it on my mobile. So let's get started. The first question that arises is, why should you learn JavaScript? So JavaScript is the world's most used language. As per a study, this is coming straight from Wikipedia, by the way, in 2023, 98.7% of websites used JavaScript for their front end. Now, did they use the JavaScript directly? Well, a few websites did, whereas a few others used JavaScript libraries and a few others also used JavaScript frameworks. Here, another interview question can be, what is the difference between a library and a framework? So library means a collection of functions. Okay, so for example, jQuery is a JavaScript library, so it is just a collection of JavaScript functions, and you can use those functions. It's just a wrapper created over JavaScript so that it adds a little syntactic sugar. That's it. Whereas a framework offers you 2-3 things, like it offers you command line runtime, that is command line interface, that is CLI. Means you can create a project, run a project, build a project using command line functions itself. So this is feature number 1. Feature number 2 is it allows you to build in various environments: dev environment, production environment. Of course, in dev environment you can write the console outs, okay, so that you know, it means you can debug better. So in the dev environment you can give a lot of console outs, so that you know what is the value of certain variable at certain time. So it is mostly used for debugging. Whereas in production, the artifact, that means whatever is formed after building your project, is called as an artifact. So artifact size is reduced, the efficiency is increased. That means how do we decrease the size of the artifact? By using 2 things. One is you remove the white spaces, you reduce the size of the variables. Okay, size of the variables means variable names, actually size of the, or you can say you can reduce the length of the variable names. So this is called as minimization. So you will try to use smaller variable names, and you will remove the white spaces, and you will write the entire code of the entire JavaScript file into just one line, and this is called as a minimized file. So first concept used to reduce the build size is minimization. Second concept is tree shaking. Tree shaking means remove all the code which is not being used. So let us say there is a function which is never called. No matter what is the execution pattern, what is the flow of execution, in any of the cases you do not call that particular function. So what's the point in having that function in your final artifact? So just remove it. This is called as tree shaking. Okay, so these 2 things are used to reduce the size of your artifact. So first thing I told you, CLI, then size of the artifact can be reduced. So building in different environments. If you have this kind of features, then it is called as a framework. But if you just have a collection of methods, then it is called as a library. So very noticeable thing is AngularJS, which came in 2010. This is still a library. Now the support for AngularJS is also removed by Google. Nowadays nobody uses it. And in 2014, Angular 2 came, and Angular 2 was an absolute rewrite, and this was a framework. Okay, this was just a library, this is a framework. Okay, so let's go ahead. This first slide, I should not waste so much time on it. Even if you're a backend developer, then you should at least know how your APIs are used in the UI. right? And lastly, if you are a full stack developer, then your interview will normally start with either OOPS concepts or with JavaScript. And so you should be always prepared with JavaScript, because that sets the tone of the interview. If that is going to be the first question in the interview, then let's give the correct answer for the first question, so that the tone of the interview is set right. Okay. And of course, full stack developers are now in demand, because normally in a team, if one developer falls sick, then his or her place should be easily taken by some other developer, right? But if you have very compartmentalized developers, means UI only developers, database only DBAs, or backend only developers, then they cannot swap places when the need arises. And that's why it is very important to have full stack developers in your team. Nowadays, every company promotes having full stack developers. And if you are giving a full stack developer interview, then it might very well start with JavaScript questions. So first of all, the very important question that you might be asked is, what is the difference between JavaScript, ECMAScript, and TypeScript? So JavaScript is a scripting language. Scripting language means normally a language which is interpreted or just in time compiled, but it is not compiled well ahead of time and then used. Not like that. Scripting means use it just now. So just now compilation means you compile it while you're using it. You don't compile first and then you use it. Don't do that. You compile it while you're using it. This is also called as interpretation. So you interpret line by line. Those kind of languages are called as scripting languages. So JavaScript is a scripting language used to build dynamic websites. Some people will say dynamic websites, some people will say interactive web pages. The meaning is the same. Dynamic website means the website which changes its behavior based on user input. Means previously there were static websites, like they were just web pages and having some hyperlinks. That's it. So if you click on a hyperlink, you go to some other web page. But all the pages were very static. They did not have much of a behavior. Okay, and that behavior was introduced using JavaScript. So now if you hover over a button, then it changes color. If you type into a text box and if you tap out of it, then it verifies whether your input is correct or not. If it is wrong, it immediately displays the error message then and there itself. So this saves users time, and this improves the customer experience, user experience. And that is why the websites nowadays are dynamic. They have a behavior. They change their behavior as per the user's input. Input can be anything. Hovering over a button, typing into a text box, anything can be user behavior. So as per the user behavior, the website will also change its behavior. That is called as a dynamic website or interactive web pages. So that is JavaScript. What is ECMAScript? ECMAScript is just a language specification. What it means is, it is not a real language. There is no language like ECMAScript. You cannot write code in ECMAScript language, because this language doesn't exist. It is just a specification. Okay, and this specification is not just followed by JavaScript, it's also followed by JScript, which is the Microsoft's version of JavaScript, and ActionScript. So just a fun fact I'll tell you, JavaScript was invented by Netscape company. So there was a browser called as Netscape Navigator, and then Microsoft was a big company by that time, so Microsoft also released their own browser called Internet Explorer just the next year. And then this Netscape people said that, okay, now we have JavaScript, so you can have interactive web pages. If your website has interactive web pages, then you have to use Netscape Navigator, because no other browser in the market has a scripting language or a engine, JavaScript engine, or any scripting language engine in the browser. Microsoft also came up with another such language called as JScript. So JScript is Microsoft's answer to JavaScript. Okay. Then what is TypeScript? Now TypeScript is also a language created by Microsoft. So this language is also a scripting language, but this is called as superscript of JavaScript, because this language compiles to JavaScript. Now I told you what is compilation. Compilation means you first understand the entire code, convert it into bytecode or convert it into machine level code, and then you feed it to the machine. So you know all the code before you start the execution. That is called as compiled. So TypeScript is compiled into JavaScript. Okay, and JavaScript here is see, you always compile from a high level language to a low level language, but here the conversion is from a high level language to a little less but high level language. JavaScript is also a high level language. Okay, and then this JavaScript can be interpreted or just in time compiled into the machine code. Okay, so this is how it is. So why did TypeScript come into existence? Because people were very much used to using various oops concepts like classes, inheritance, this, that. Okay, and JavaScript is a very rudimentary kind of a language. It was just a rudimentary language that was developed by Netscape at that time, and it did not evolve also very much. And that's why all the object oriented programming concepts, of course this is also object oriented programming, but especially things like classes, inheritance of the classes, or to have static typing, all these concepts which we are used to using normally, for using those we needed some really nice compiled kind of a language which can be compiled. People, especially people coming from Java world or C# world, they started using TypeScript, and nowadays it's an industry standard that people use TypeScript. It gets compiled to JavaScript, and JavaScript is fed to the browser. Okay, what is static typing, by the way? Static typing means JavaScript. Again, a fun fact: JavaScript, suppose you make a variable a equal to 2, then the type of the variable is a number. Okay, and then when you say a is equal to Amit, a string. Okay, so immediately the type of a gets changed to string, and it accepts that value also. So there is no static typing, there is dynamic typing in JavaScript. So the type of the variable changes dynamically based on the value that you assign to it. Okay, and yeah, people coming from Java world or .NET world did not like it at all, and that's why they wanted some proper error message to be displayed. It should not build, the code should not build if such wrong type of variable is assigned to the variable. So if you assign a string to a numeric variable, then it should ideally give an error. This is what Java people or .NET people thought, and that's the reason why TypeScript came, because TypeScript is a compiled language. So when it will build, it will first check all these things, that okay, are you doing this kind of mistakes? If you're doing it, then it will let you know then and there itself, and it will say that the build has failed because there is an error on so and so line. And then what you'll have to do is you'll have to typecast the string into a number. Suppose it is 100 written in string, then you typecast it into a number and then assign it to a numeric variable. Okay, so to summarize, JavaScript is a language, ECMAScript is a standard language specification, you can say, and TypeScript is a language which can be compiled into JavaScript. Now, what kind of language is JavaScript? First of all, it is a high level language. What is a high level language? High level language means a language which is understood by the human beings. Low level language means machine code, means binary, means zeros and ones, which only machines can understand. Okay, so this is definitely a high level language because it is written in English. Okay, it is mostly like English, and that's why human beings can understand it. That's why it's a high level language. It's a scripting language. As I told you, scripting language is something which is interpreted line by line. As and when you are executing it, you just interpret the one line, and interpret means convert it into machine code and feed it to the machine. Machine executes it. Okay, so you execute it line by line. You don't read the entire code first. You build it, create an artifact, and then give it to the machine. Okay, you do it line by line. This is called as interpretation of the code. Okay, just like language interpreters, they listen to one sentence and then they convert it into the other language. Okay, they don't compile it. They don't have a book in Hindi, and they will convert it into English language. So that is called as compiling. They compile. If they are doing it, they are compiling the book. But normally interpreting means they listen to Hindi and they convert it into English. Okay, line by line. This is called an interpretation. Another name for interpretation only some people use is just-in-time compilation. So what is just-in-time compilation? It is also the same thing. It means basically you are compiling it while you're executing it. So you're compiling the code while you're using it. So this is basically just interpretation. It's just a fancy name for interpretation. But whatever your interviewer uses, answer in that terms only. If he says, okay, is JavaScript a just-in-time compiled language? You say, yes, sir, it is. Okay. If he or she says that is it an interpreted language, you say, yes, ma'am, correct, it is interpreted language. You use the language of the interpreter and you interviewer, and you will pass the interview. So it is an interpreted language. I already explained it to you. It is just-in-time compiled language, already explained. It conforms to the ECMA standards. Okay, and it is dynamically typed. Means I told you earlier that if I assign a variable of a different type, if I assign a value of a different type to a variable of a different type, then the variable changes its type as per the value assigned to it. Okay. Now let us use an example. So let us say that there is an HTML file like this. So here, if you see, it is the HTML tag. It has a header tag, title. This is my website. So this is just a basic website. The body has my website text written into it. So this will appear. This will appear over here. This appears here. This my website appears here. Then you have a button, and the button has the words greet me. So greet me has come here, and it also says that on clicking this button, you should call this function. Where is this function written? Oh, function is not written in this file, but this file has link to index.js file, and this file has greet function. So what does greet function do? It just console outs my website. So what is consoling out? Consoling out means this is a website that you're seeing. You just press F12. So this will open this part, which is called as the developer tools, and it will have a console. So here you can console out things. It is just for debugging, so that you know, okay, what is the value of so and so variable. If you want to debug that, then you can always console out the values. So this is what is done. So let us try this example in practical. Okay, so in the practical session, first of all, I'll say you can do all of this using basic any text editor like Notepad. Also, just you name the file as index.html, you name the file as index.js. That will also work. But practically, normally what people do is people use an IDE, that is integrated development environment. So this is also a text editor only, but then it has such color coding. If you use a keyword, it is shown in blue. If you have angle brackets, then it is shown in a fade color, so that you don't waste too much attention on angles. And whatever your variable names or your text is, it is in bright white color. So they have used all this color coding just to allow you to understand the code better. Okay, so if you understand your code better, you will be able to code better. Okay, then second thing is even these icons are there. So HTML files have this icon, JavaScript files have this icon. Then you will see that greet is a function, so function has this icon, whereas all the tags that you have, HTML tag, so this one tag, so all the tags are shown like this. Okay, so you get a fairly good idea. Besides, but you have a lot of other things like indentation is there. Automatically indentation happens as soon as you save it. Indentation will happen and all. So I will highly encourage that you use an IDE. So the easiest IDE that I found is Visual Studio Code. It is also by Microsoft, but it is free. Of course, it's not proprietary. Means, of course, it is proprietary, but it is free to use. Okay. So where will you download it from? So you just go to this website and you can download it from here. So here, if you see, it gives you three options. If you're a Windows user, you can click one of these. If you're a Linux user, you can click one of these. And if you're a Mac user, then you can click one of these. I'm a Windows user, but I don't know what is my operating system. Is it Windows 10, Windows 11? I don't know. So I'll just click this button. But if I really know that, let us say it is Windows 11, and in Windows 11 also it is a 64-bit machine, and I want a user installer or a system installer. System installer means exe, user installer means msi. So if you're very clear about what you want, then you click one of these buttons. Otherwise, if you don't know anything about your system, just click this big button saying Windows. You should at least know that it's a Windows machine, right? So just click this button. It will automatically determine what kind of a system you're on, and accordingly it will download your setup. So see, it has already downloaded a 64-bit exe for me. Okay, so once you download it, you just execute that setup file, and this Windows Studio code will be there on your machine. Just open it. When you open it, it looks something like this. Okay, now in this, let us go to the slide again. Install Visual Studio Code plugins. Now, what are plugins? Normally, any IDE nowadays, they want to keep very light IDEs, because earlier in the Java days, Eclipse was very heavy. NetBeans was also very heavy. Visual Studio IDE was also very heavy for C# development. But then Visual Studio Code came. Code means it was mostly for the front-end developers, and it was very light. And this is that IDE. See, it's so light that I'll close it, I'll open it, and you see how quickly it launches. Visual Studio, on the other hand, would have easily taken me somewhere around 1 minute just to launch. Okay, and this one launches in just 1 second or so. Okay, this is because the basic IDE is just a text editor and just giving colors to various as per the syntax, and giving indentation. This is all that the editor is all about. If you want any new feature, any additional feature, then you have to install a plugin. So it is extendable. So you can extensible, I guess. Extensible means any software which is basic, and if you want more functionality, just extend it using plugins. So that is extensible. So let us extend this IDE using two important plugins. One is Prettier and another is Live Server. So extensions can be installed using this particular button. Extensions means plugins, one and the same thing. Here I have already installed Ionic, Live Server and Prettier. If you haven't installed it, then you can just search for it. Let us say Prettier. You will get it. Over here you will see install button. I'm seeing uninstall button because it's already installed. For example, let us see Prettier ESLint. So here this is for linting. Linting means basically finding syntactical errors and all. So if you want to install something like this, there is install button here or here. So I will recommend you to install two important plugins. One is Prettier Code Formatter and Live Server. So what does Prettier do? Prettier basically formats your code. So if you are writing in HTML, then it will format the code to look pretty, just like you have seen over here. So now it looks pretty well indented and everything. So this is what Prettier does. And Live Server, you will see in some time. Live Server deploys your website immediately from Visual Studio Code itself, so that you can see your website while you're developing it. So it is mostly for development purpose only. Of course, you won't give deployment to the entire world on this Live Server. You will never do that. You will definitely use IIS or WebSphere or Apache Tomcat, means any web server which will be used for deploying your website. Okay, and then it will be open for the world to use. But you will never deploy the website on the Live Server, but this is only for development purpose. Within the IDE, you are making changes, and in the browser, simultaneously you are seeing the changes. Okay, so install these two. After that, make a few settings like auto save every 1 second and format on save. So what are these settings? So you just go to files, preferences, and you go to settings. Okay. Now here you see text editor. Here there are a few settings like auto save. Okay, if you're not getting it, like I'm not getting it at the moment, so you can always search the settings. You can say auto save. So see, it will save the files after certain delay. Now how much delay? 1000 milliseconds is 1 second. Okay, so every 1 second it will save the files. Okay, and I should also be having another setting in the text editor itself, that format on save. If you're not getting it, like I'm also not getting it, I'll just search for it, format on save. Okay, so you'll be able to format on saving it. Okay, so just enable this checkbox. These are very important settings because it will improve your user experience while using this particular IDE. Okay, next, what should I do? Okay, create my website which greets you using a button click. So let us create one website. So how do you create a website? First of all, you open a folder. So I'll open a folder at any location of my choice. Let us create a folder called as my website. Your website is always a folder. Remember it. Your website is always a folder which has web.config file, by the way. So just create your folder and open this folder. See, I'm opening this folder in Visual Studio Code IDE. Okay, so this folder has opened. It has no file at the moment. I can create a new file. I can call it index.html. Okay, this is that file. Now I want to write into this file. I want to create an HTML page. So what I'll do is I'll just say colon and I'll hit enter, or I will click here, or I will do tab. Tab key can also be pressed. So enter, tab, or you can just click here using mouse. So what it will do is it will automatically give you some boilerplate code. Boilerplate code means some code just to start with. Okay, some code. See, this is a basic blank website that it has created for me. Now if I want to see this what is title? Title is basically appearing at the top of the website, and then what is body? Body is what you see within the website. So here let us create a button, and I'll call it as greet me. Okay, and let us also create a text box. So I'll just put input colon text, enter. So it will create a text box for me, and I'll give an ID as name. So here I'll be entering my name, then there'll be a button called as greet me. When I click this button, then something should happen. So let us see whether at least this much is visible. So what I'll do is I'll just right click this. I'll say open in live server. So as soon as I do that, see, it opens the default browser and you're able to see the website. Now let me arrange these windows well so that you get the look and feel of what is going on. Okay, and you can always click back here so that it retracts, or you can have control B for retracting the left side menus. Okay, so here this is a text box, right? At the moment when I click on it, nothing happens. Okay, but I want to add some functionality to it. So adding functionality is done using JavaScript. Structure of the page is your HTML. Whereas styling means basically CSS adds styling. So what is styling? Styling means how your page should look, what should be the appearance of the page. That is CSS. So structure, HTML, look and feel, CSS, and behavior of the page, JavaScript. Okay, so let me just add some CSS. Let us say I can say style, background color equal to, let us say, aqua. Okay, so now see, the background color of this button has changed. Okay, so look and feel of your page is decided using CSS. Now either you can write the CSS here, or you can write the CSS over here in the header tag. You can say style, and over here you can say that all the buttons should look like this, that their background color should be aqua. And here you don't write style, of course. This is how it should be. So see, even this is possible. So the style can be added either at the element level, or you can add it at the top. Similarly, you can also create a style sheet. That means you can create a file having this particular style. So you just cut this, you just create a new file called as, let us say, mystyles.css, and you just paste this code over here. As soon as you save it, it adjusts the indentation and everything, because we have prettier and because we have the setting that you format on save. Here you don't need a style tag, you need a link tag instead. Notice that here style is not getting applied because this file is not linked to your HTML and we are only viewing this HTML file. Okay, now as soon as I link this file, it will understand that all the buttons should have a background of aqua color. So you will see that aqua color appearing over here. So how do we link a CSS into an HTML? The way to do it is say link colon, and here you just say CSS. Okay, so link rel equal to style sheet and href equal to now which one. So the file name is mystyles.css. Notice here in any IDE, this is very easy, that you just type half of the things and half of the things get auto completed. So you also don't make mistakes, because otherwise if I would have written it manually, then probably I would have missed this hyphen, or I would have done some spelling mistake and it would have wasted my time, right? So that's why use an IDE. Now you'll also notice that I want to see both these files in one view. How do I do that? So you can click this particular splitter button, or you can just drag this window into whichever place you want. For example, if I want it over here, then it will start appearing like this. If I want it over here, then it will start appearing like this. Okay, so make good use of this as well. So I want it like this, and you can always make this go away. So now you can see both the files in one view, and you will also see the browser. Now, of course, the browser cannot shrink beyond this point. So I'll say control minus, which will, zoom out that window a bit. Okay, so now you see both of them into one view. So this is what we are doing with this particular point, that create my website, which greets you. Oh yeah, it should greet you. So till now we have only seen HTML and CSS. We haven't seen JavaScript, right? JavaScript means functionality. So it will add functionality to this page. So let us add a functionality that on clicking of this button, I need to do something. So let's say I need to alert the user saying, you clicked me. You clicked me, question mark. Okay, now when I click this button, then you see there is an alert coming that you clicked me. Okay, so this is called as an alert. Now let us say that I have to do a few more things, like this is one alert, then I want to call another alert on the same button click. It is okay. Okay, so these are two alerts that I should have. So now when I click it, first I see you clicked me. When I say okay to this, I see another alert saying it is okay. Okay, so I cannot keep on writing into this line. If there is a lot of functionality that I have to perform on the click of this button, I cannot write it then and there itself. So inline JavaScript is very difficult, So instead of this, what I can do is I can just cut this part and I can create a function out of it, and I'll call this function as greet function, or you can give any other name, and function is always called like this. And function, I can write functions in script tag. So I'll just write here script tag. Okay, so this script tag is oftentimes written at the bottom of the body, because script normally uses all the elements in your DOM, and so the DOM should first be created before the script is loaded, and that's why you always write script at the bottom, whereas style sheets are always written in the header itself or at the beginning. Why? Because you should know what style is, and accordingly you should render the elements. It should not happen that first elements got rendered, then its style changed immediately abruptly. It should never happen. That's why styling is always included at the beginning, and script is always included at the bottom of the uh, HTML file or bottom of the body. So here you will write this function. So function is always declared with the keyword function. Then you give the name of the function, you write the parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis, you can give whatever arguments are there. But here I am not passing any argument, and this is the function body in curly braces. So here is what you need to perform on calling this function. So you will be calling these two alert functions within this function, and I'm saving it. So see, it is reformatting itself well, and it has also given a semicolon after everything. So it is customary that you should be giving a semicolon. Even if you don't give a semicolon at the end of JavaScript sentence, it's still okay, but it's customary that you always enter JavaScript sentence or a command using a semicolon. Now let me click it. So what happens? Oh, nothing is happening. Script is there, function is there, everything is there. I think it should happen. Now if I want to debug it, that what is going wrong, then I'll always click on F12. See, let the focus be on this Chrome, and just press F12. So it opens the developer console. If your console doesn't open like this, then if it, suppose it might be opening in this fashion, or it might have opened in some other fashion like this. So you can always change the fashion based on this button. So you can dock it either at the bottom or on the sides. You can do that. So this is the developer window. Inside that, you go to the console. Here, if there is any error, you will come to know. See, the error is on click. Okay, what is there? Greet is not defined. Okay. Oh, I made it green, so it should be greet. Okay. And now if you click on it, then it will first say you clicked me, and then it will say it is okay. Okay, so the same functionality, instead of writing it in line within over here, I'm writing it in another function, and I'm enclosing it in the script tag. Okay, now just like style sheets can be written in a separate file which can be included later on, I can also move this entire script into some other file, and then I can include that file over here. So the way to do it is just copy whatever is written between the script tags, just copy or cut it, create another file, let us say my scripts.js. Now there's a JavaScript file, and here you just paste it. I'm again arranging it like this. Okay, so all three of them are visible to you now within one scope. And here, instead of script, I'm going to write something like this: script source. So script should have a source, and that source is my scripts.js. Okay, so now it will be included. I'm just saving it so that it gives the proper indentation and everything, and then see whether it is still working. Yeah, it is still working. This means the functionality is still there. Now I gave the function name as greet, so let me write a meaningful thing over here. So what I really wanted to do is, I'm just closing this style, if you don't mind, so that we can increase the font a bit. Yes, now control plus to increase the font. These meta tags also, they are not required in our case, so I am simplifying it a bit. This title goes over here, whatever is written in the body, it goes over here. So even title I don't require. I want to make this as simple as possible, so that it doesn't confuse you. Okay, this is as simple as we can go. Here greet function, what I want is, I want to take the name from this input box, and I want to say hello and whatever is the name. Okay, and I want to print that name over here. So first of all, let us see whether we can get the value of this input box. So the way to do it is, as soon as I click greet, what I'll do is I'll try to get the value of this input box. So the way to do it is, I will just uh, say that let is a way of declaring a variable. So let name be equal to uh, or user input, you can say user input, any variable name is equal to. Now I'm trying to get this element using its ID. So what I'll do is document. This is the basic DOM, that is the document object model of the page. I'm asking it to get element by ID, and I'm going to say the ID is name. Okay, so I'm copying this over here. So this is the user input. Okay, I got the user input. Now I want to see this user input. Let us say alert user input. Okay, now when I click greet me, then see it is showing me, oh, it is an object. So it does not tell me what value I entered over here. So it says it's an object. So what I should do is, this is just the element. I want the text of this element, or value of this element, sorry, value of this element. Okay, now let us say I'm typing something, I'm saying greet me, see I get that value. Okay, now instead of having alert every time, we can also console out the value. So the way to console out is, instead of alert, I can say console.log. Okay, now when I type something and I click this button, see the value is just consoled out, but the user experience is not spoiled. I don't want to alert every time. This is for my own debugging, so I'm just consoling it out, but the user won't see an alert. Okay, now here this is user input. Okay, so I got the value. Now I want to write here hello, whatever is the name over here. Suppose the name is Amit, so I should be writing here hello Amit. So here let us create another variable. Let message variable be equal to hello space, and concatenate it to the value of the user input. Okay, so and then let us see what is that message. So I'm just clicking, I'm just getting that message over here. So now if I say here Amit and I say greet me, so the message is hello Amit. Oh, I want an exclamation mark as well. So the way to do it is, again I'll say plus exclamation mark. I won't give a space here because I don't want a space between Amit and exclamation. So see how it appears. Amit, greet me. See, hello Amit. Okay, now this functionality is great. Okay, but I really want it to appear over here so that the user is able to see it. This is my debugging. I get to know that, okay, I can formulate that message very well now, but now I want to display that message over here. So the way to do it is, you just create a label over here. Okay, and you can remove this for, it's not required. You can just say ID equal to, let's call it as message. Okay, any ID, you give an any ID. And here what you do is, instead of consoling this out, what you do is you write document dot get element by ID, and here you give the same ID, which is message, and you say that its inner HTML or inner text should be, let us call it inner text, should be message. So whatever message you have formulated, instead of consoling it out, you are displaying it in that particular label. And you can always comment this code, control and question mark key, control and question mark key, so that will comment this particular line, and you can save it so that it reformats itself. Now if I say Amit and if I say greet me, then see it is showing the message hello Amit. Okay, if you want this message to appear below it, then you can just add a BR tag, that is a break tag. Now see, when you type any name over here, if you say greet me, it is appearing, that message is appearing below this thing, below the text box and the button. Okay, so this is how you basically code. I think this is a fairly good amount of coding. Let us call this a basic website that we have. If you want to give it a title, then you can always go in the header and you can say title is my website. Okay, just call it my website or anything of your choice. Okay, so this is how you make a basic website. Okay, now the next stage is we should see how to deploy this website on a local server. We have already seen this. If you notice, this website is already deployed on this IP address and this port. Okay, so this is what local server's IP address and port. Okay, anything that is deployed is always deployed on a machine, that means the IP address and the port of the machine. So everything is deployed on a certain port of the machine. So this is that port 5500. Okay, but this is live server. You won't deploy your website on live server and give it to the customer, right? You will never do that. So the way to do it is you should deploy it into IIS. So that is our next stage, that let us deploy the website on IIS. What is IIS? IIS is Internet Information Services. So this is a web server that Windows provides for free. Okay, so Microsoft provides it along with Windows operating system. So the way to do install it is just see whether you have IIS manager. So I have IIS manager. If you don't see IIS, then don't worry. You just have to enable IIS. It's already there on your system. You just have to enable it. So the way to do it is you turn Windows features on or off. So just click this. Type this. You will get this icon. So just click on this. This is a control panel setting in which you will see that Internet Information Services and Internet Information Services hostable web core. These two are ticked in my case. In your case, it will be something like this. Okay, so just click them. When you click them, this is completely clicked, whereas this is completely enabled, but this is partially enabled. So if you see, FTP server is not enabled, so it's not required. Also, if you want, you can still check it, otherwise keep it as it is. Here also in web tools, web management tools, a few things are not there, so it's okay, it's absolutely fine. Just click this highest level label, and whatever gets clicked inside, keep the default setting, and you just say okay. So once you do this, your IIS manager will start appearing over here. It will take a while for these settings to reflect. It might even ask you to restart the system. If it asks you to restart the system, then restart it. Otherwise, in my case, it did not even ask for a restart, or probably it asked for a restart, but I said restart later, and still I saw IIS manager. So whatever your case, you behave as per that. This is the IIS manager that you will open. So here you will see that this is the server, that is a web server on which your websites can get deployed. There is already a website called as default website. Okay, can you see this website? Yeah, of course you can see this. So you can just browse this website. See, it is in the on stage. You can stop this website, you can start this website, you can restart it. So you can browse it. So as soon as you browse it, see, it is on localhost :80. So whatever is the port number, if the port number is 80, then it never appears. But if the port number is anything other than 80, let us say 81, then it will appear. Okay, because 80 is the default port. So on this default port, this default website is already deployed, and it is a very basic website. It just has one image. Now, if you want to know how is this website written, then you can always do it using basic settings. When you go to basic settings, you see the path. This is the path at which this website is there. So if I go to this particular path, I see that it just consists of one HTML page and one PNG. So this is that PNG that we are seeing. This is just a image that we are seeing. And this is the HTML file. So if you open this HTML, then you will see that this is how it is. So it just has a body having one anchor tag, and this anchor tag has one image inside it. So when you click on this image, then it will redirect you to somewhere else. So when you click on this, it redirects you to whatever is that hyperlink. So this is very, very simple website. So this is where this website is. Now I want to make my own website. How do I do that? So I'll just right click on sites. I'll say add website. Here I will give the name, let us say my website. You can give any name. Physical path, you give the path where you have these files. Okay, so I think it is over here. So this is where we have been working so far. This Visual Studio Code, this is that path. This is my website. Okay, if you want this full path, then you can always go to any of the files. You can say that, you know, reveal in file explorer, so it will reveal that it is over here. So here this path, you just copy this entire path. Okay, so you click anywhere on the white space at the end, and then you can copy this path. Once you copy that, in add website, you can just paste that physical path. You can also test the settings. It will pass here. It will say that I cannot test the authorization and all. It's all okay, fine. And you just say okay. Now it is saying that, see, I've said start the website immediately. So it says that, see, you know, this website is also on port number 80, and another website is also running on the port number 80, which is your default website. So do you want to change the website port? I'll say, yeah, I can change it. I can change it to, let us say, 81. I'm saying okay. So now this website runs on port number 80, and this website runs on port number 81. If I click here, then our website opens. So congratulations, your website got deployed on IIS. So here, let us see whether it is working properly. Yeah, it is working properly. Now I want to see this website on my mobile phone. How do I do that? So for that, I cannot say localhost. Localhost means this system. This system means this PC. How can I say localhost on my mobile? I cannot say that, right? So for that, I need to use my IP address. So what is IP address? It is a unique address given to every machine on the internet. So here I can go to CMD, that is command prompt, and in the command prompt, I can just type here IP config, and it gives me my IP address. Okay, so I'll just copy this. I don't even need to copy this because here, if you see bindings, if you double click on this, it already gives you in this drop down what is your IP. So I don't even need to go to the command prompt and find out my IP address, but I told you the right way. This is the easiest way of finding your IP address. So what is IP v4 address? That is your IP address. Okay, so IP version 4 address. Now I can select that particular IP address over here. So next time, if I want to access this website, the way to do it is I instead of localhost, I need to write my IP address, then I need to write the port number after colon, and then I can use it, right? So this is the way to use it. It is still working. There is no problem. It is still working. Now let me show you on my mobile whether I'm able to access the website just like this. Now my mobile screen you are able to see. I'll go to a browser and I'll just type here the IP address, which is 192.168.1.7, then colon 81, which is a port number. Means I'm just typing this whole thing over here, and then it should appear to me over here. So as you can see, it's not able to find it. Do you know the reason why? Because this port is still not opened by me. So the way to do it is I go to firewall, okay. Here I go to advanced settings, and then here I create an inbound rule, new rule, and I'm just going to say open the port number 81. So I'm selecting port, next. Here I'm writing 81, and I'm saying allow the connection. You can also use any of these things, but I'm saying allow the connection. And it's domain, private, public, all of them should be allowed. And just call this anything. I'm calling this rule as my website. or rule for my website, inbound, or opening port 81 for public. You can give whatever rule name that you want. Now as soon as I do that, you see on the mobile screen once again. Now you see the mobile screen here. If I just refresh, I should be able to see this website now. See, this website is there. Now if I zoom in, and this, if I really give another name, let us say Nitin, which is my brother's name. If I say greet me, see, it is going to greet Nitin. Okay, so the website is still working, and congratulations, you have just deployed your website onto IIS, and you have also tested it using your mobile phone. Okay, so this is how you basically create a website and you deploy it. So until here was the essential part. After this, we will see the nitty-gritty, that means nuances of JavaScript. We'll see the syntax, what are the variables, what are the variable types, how are variables declared, what is scoping, what is lexical scoping. We'll also see basic things like how is an array implemented, how can you call the various objects of an array, what are the various methods of array. All these topics are not very important. For passing the interview, this much is sufficient. Okay, but if you really want to excel at being a nice JavaScript developer, then you stick through the rest of the video. Otherwise, this much is sufficient for you. You can always go to W3 Schools. I'll show you the website as well. You can go to W3 Schools. You can go to JavaScript and see, here there are so many topics. You just go through the website at your own pace, and within a week or so you will be an expert in JavaScript. But if you want me to cover the important topics in these, then stay tuned. I'll let you know these topics in short. This is Amit Shirasao, and you're watching Coding.